ain't just another. You were born to elevate. It's not about the dollars and dimes we keep in our pockets. Not how we go from losses to profit. It's not about the files and contracts. Serenity is made with contact. I know you know that we can do better. I think it's not a hopeless endeavor. It's not about the files and contracts. Serenity is made with contact. Serenity is made with contact. Serenity is made with contact. It's not about the dollars. I know we can do better. 'Cause you ain't just another. Serenity is made with contact. Seems we got stuck in a daydream. Going blind is following the routine. What if we just stop for a minute and breathe? Why we're all struggling upstream and fighting for a get-rich-quick scheme? What if we forget about the wants and our needs? What have we become? You roll, you go now. It's not about the dollars and dimes we keep in our pockets. Not how we go from losses to profit. It's not about the files and contracts. Serenity is made with contact. I know you know that we can do better. I think it's not a hopeless endeavor. It's not about the files and contracts. Serenity is made with contact. No, I'm not the only one getting tired. Stuck in an emotional landslide. What if we just stop for a minute and think? What have we become? It's not about the dollars and dimes we keep in our pockets. Not how we go from losses to
Flip the page of the calendar. It's a new month. Spring is here. Life is good. New opportunities to grow, to be, to live, to enjoy. This whole month, we are going to look at ways to live the yoga, our yoga, your yoga, this yoga off of our mats. Every day I've got a new tip for you to incorporate the good feelings you have on your yoga mat into your daily life when you're off of your mat. You're going to work it in so you can have more peace in your life. And that's the theme of our month. It's peace. In keeping with the fruit of the Spirit, we've done joy, we've done love. Now it's peace. We're going to think about peace. We're going to dive deeper into finding and mining this elusive gem, peace. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. That right there is peace, isn't it? You're doing it from the privacy of your own home, dressed the way you want, doing your own thing. It's all good. We are live every single day on Facebook and YouTube, start to finish, 1 hour. You're thinking, oh, 1 hour, that's a long time. It's not. You deserve it. You deserve the time of self-care. You deserve the time of solitude and peace just in your safe little space on your mat. Check us out every day, 1 hour. Stick around for as long as you can. You know, do what you can. Just enjoy. No pressure. I promise it's a no pressure zone. Today's practice is an all-seated practice. I've snuck in a little bit of balancing because I think balancing is so important for all of us in what we do. But if you don't want to balance, you can just stay on the mat. We've got options and alternatives. There's always options. There are always alternatives. But I am glad that you have chosen to be here with us today. The word I'd like you to think about as you practice is peace. It means untroubled. It means tranquil. It means content. It means the opposite of tension. So that's what we're looking for, the opposite of tension. And where do we hold tension? Our shoulders, our upper back, and women, we hold it in our hips. Today's practice, we're going to slay those problems. We're going to send them on their way, and we are going to find peace in our bodies. That's what it's all about. All right, props. Like a couple of yoga blocks. If you don't have them, you could use a couple of towels that are rolled up really tightly, like spa style. But buy yoga blocks. They're not very expensive. We're going to use a strap for a couple of poses if you want to have that, or a belt to your robe, or a jump rope, or your dog leash. It all works. Eye shade, beloved, wonderful eye shade. Piper liked it today. And a little hand towel to slip under your knees or work as an eye shade in a pinch. You can do it. That's all. That's my biggest message. You can do it with the props, without the props. Get the props because it's just kind of fun. It kind of feels special. We all like those little toys. But you can do this. Don't hurt yourself. The bottom of our screen and the little scrolling thing earlier said, don't hurt yourself. Do what you can with what you got. If it hurts, back out of it. You know what hurts. You know what you can and can't do. Let's come into a comfortable pose. I hope is comfortable for all of us, for most of us. Let's come on down. Oh, did I say have some water handy too, or maybe some tea? It's up to you. All right, come on down to a reclined position. We're gonna lie down today in our first pose, which is pentacle. Don't be in a hurry, don't be in a rush. And I know some of you have even said you don't even like pentacle because it's just not comfortable. Maybe slipping a pillow under your neck might make it better. Come down nice and slowly. Don't rush, don't worry. No hurries here. Spread your legs toward the edges of your mat or even wider. Bring your arms up overhead. I know this is where some of us, it gets to us. But bring your body into a big capital letter X shape. If that doesn't feel good in the shoulders, what do? Adjust your shoulders so they're comfortable. Maybe bend the elbows, maybe bring the arms down a little bit, maybe tee them out. But what you want to do here is just find your peace, your solitude. This is your time. Make it work for you. That's the big thing. All right, stress number. What are you feeling coming in here on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10? What's going on? We're going to work on bringing that number down. We're going to use our breath, and we're going to use the movements in our body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now let's work on bringing the inhales in through the nose and the exhales out through the mouth. Make them audible. Adjust your pentacle pose so it feels good for you. Like I said, kind of the way to think about this is think about the big capital letter X. I guess a lowercase x looks the same way too, doesn't it? But think of your body lying here, looking like an X if someone were to look down upon your body right now. Shoulders are back and down on the mat. Crown of the head is lengthening up. You are at peace. Maybe that's your mantra today. I am at peace. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Sigh it out, let it go. Let your pinky toes fall more toward the edges of your mat. How does that feel? Hello to Liz and Lori, Lynn, Stan, Betty, Esther, Tammy, Kelly, Rhonda, Rena, Canel. I'm glad that you guys are here. All right, so this is your pentacle pose. How is it feeling? Breathe in, breathe out, and you've adjusted your arms, so it's doable, right? All right, next pose. Let's bring our legs in. Ankles touching. Bring your arms up overhead as best you can. Maybe the palms touch. Take your stick pose. For your stick pose, reach through your fingertips higher to the top of your mat. With your toes, point toward the bottom of your mat. Kind of stretch your ankles out a little bit. Breathe in your stick pose. You look like a big number 1. In and out. Let's take it to a banana asana pose. So we're going to get some lateral flexion of the spine in here. Your feet, they're together now at the midline. Walk them to the right corner of your mat. Then your arms, lengthen them up, and then let your fingers go more toward the top right corner of your mat. So you're curving your body. Again, if someone were to look down upon you, you would look like a banana. Bananas are curved differently, right? You don't want to strain too much. What you want to be sure that you do is keep your left hip down and your left shoulder down. So just feel this nice deep stretch on the left side of your body in your banana asana pose. Breathe here, no hurry. Just really feel what you feel. A lot of times I think we go on autopilot and we don't feel the sensations in our body. Breathe, and remember, you can bend your elbows if it hurts in the shoulders. Let's walk it back to the midline. Come back to that stick pose. Everything straight and long, pointing to the top and bottom of your mat. Eyes are closed. Just enjoy. Now when you're ready, banana asana on the other side. Walk your heels to the left bottom corner of your mat, keeping both hips down, remember. And then the arms, fingers are touching. Reach the arms, reach the fingers to the top left corner of the mat. Keep your right shoulder down. Big stretch on the right side, taking it nice and slowly. No rush, no hurry. Find softness in your right shoulder. Keep it down on your mat. Breathe in and out. Sigh it out. Let it go. Deep breaths. You are at peace. Big stretch. As you're ready, come back to the midline of your body. Bring your feet and legs to the midline of your body. And lengthen through your fingertips. Breathe. All right, let's take that big good morning stretch. That is your yoga off of your mat today. Before you get out of bed every day this month, think about just stretching just like this. Lengthen up. Release your hands from each other. Stretch and lengthen. Put the backs of your hands on your mat. Lengthen and stretch. Maybe point your toes. Work your legs a little bit apart. Just your variation of your big good morning stretch. Stretch it out in bed. Think to yourself, today's going to be a good day. It's a new day. I am going to seize it. I am going to own it. I am going to stretch and move throughout my day. Stretch it out in your good morning stretch. All right, now's the fun snow angel time. Bring your arms, sweep them on down by your sides so the pinkies come towards your outside of your hips. Spread your legs wide. Think like a snow angel. Think like doing a snow angel in your arms and your legs. Legs move in, move out. Arms sweep up and down. Snow angel. Just have fun. Breathe. All right. Finish up with your snow angel. Press on up. You can use your hands. Press on up to a comfortable seated position. Now, how do your shoulders feel already? It's feeling pretty good, I hope. All right, so sit however is comfortable for you. You can have your legs long. You can have one leg bent. You just be seated and find the midline of your body. So nestle in to your sits bones. I'm going to sit in that Sukhasana pose. That's when your legs are bent. Maybe try it, maybe not, it's up to you. I'm going to sit in Sukhasana. I'm going to bring one foot up on top of the other leg, and I'm going to find my yoga blocks. I'm going to slip one under my top knee because that's more comfortable. Hands onto the knees, lengthen up. Sigh it out, let it go. Just sit and be still for a moment. You're getting into your hips a little bit here. We're going to do some things with the arms to kind of get our mind off of the hips. Maybe you've got just one leg bent and the other leg long. Maybe you're not ready to bend either leg. That's okay. Being here is a big part of finding the peace. Big breath in and big breath out. If you like, close your lips. Breathe in and out of your nose. Just focus inward. That's where your peace resides. Just focus inwards. Don't let the outside world destroy your inner peace. You've got your breath to guide you. Use it. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, let's lift our arms up to the sky. You can keep your eyes closed or open them if you want. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Lift them up and reach. Think like your extended mountain arms. Let's bend our elbow. I'm going to bend my left elbow, take my right hand and capture it. I'm going to hug the elbow in, close to the side of my head, and I'm going to just pat myself on the back. So big stretch, you feeling it in the tricep of the arm. Breathe in, breathe out. Release both arms, back up, up, up to the sky. Now bend your right elbow, left hand captures it, hug it in towards your ear and give yourself a pat on the back. Breathe in, breathe out. That seems kind of obvious, doesn't it? But you just gotta breathe. Breathe deeply. Take deep breaths, not shallow breaths. Shallow breaths, is that fight or flight breathing. Taking deep, shallow breath, taking deep, not shallow breaths is a peaceful way to breathe. All right, release your arms back up to the sky. Tee out your arms. Give yourself a big hug, bringing one arm on top of the other. I start with my right. Work the fingertips toward the spine. Soften in the shoulders away from the ears. So don't have your shoulders be earrings. Be resting. Softened. And then squeeze your shoulders to the sides of the room. Nice tight hug. Breathe in, breathe out. Tee out your arms. Remember which arm was on top. Did you already forget? That's why I always start with the right side. No, there are reasons in yoga to start with the right side. We'll talk about that another time. Go ahead and cross your arms again, giving yourself a big hug. I'm bringing the left arm on top of the right. Reach the hands toward the spine or wherever you can reach. So your nice tight hug here. Soften in the shoulders and then expand the shoulders to the side of the room. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release your big hug. Tee out your arms nice and big. Now goal post your arms. Palms are facing forward. Fingers spread wide. Bend your elbows so your forearms are parallel to each other to the sides of your room. And just hold it here. Squeeze the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Big breath in. And big breath out. Soften in your shoulders. Maybe you keep your lips closed and breathe in and out of your nose. Or maybe every once in a while you feel like you need to sigh it out. Let the tension go. Sigh it out audibly through your mouth. Breathe. All right, work your fingers toward the earth. Keep your elbows lifted. Palms back up like you're gonna high five your TV screen. Breathe. Bring your fingers down, elbows lifted. Breathe. And then finish. Let your arms come down by your sides. Let them rest on your knees. Big breath in, big breath out. Switch out your legs. Switch out your legs. If you are seated in the Sukhasana pose or however you're seated, switch them out. I had my right leg on top. Now I'm going to bring my right leg on the bottom and my left leg on top. You can use the block to put under the knee that's on top. Maybe that feels pretty good, and just let that knee rest as you open up through the hips. All right, hands down on your knees. Let's do some shoulder shrugs. All right, you do these, you know these. Shrug your shoulders. Shrug your shoulders to whatever feels good for you. I'm gonna shrug mine up nice and tightly. So now I am gonna make my shoulders be like earrings. I'm gonna hug them up, squeeze it tightly, then I'm gonna send the shoulders back and then down. So a few more times. Do it your way. Hug them up tight. Bring them forcefully on. Oh, forcefully. That's not a good word. That doesn't sound like peace. Bring the shoulders back, nice and pushing toward the back wall, and then release. I'm going to do it one more time. Now just circle your shoulders forward. Circle them forward and breathe. Put a smile on your face. That's always good, right? All right, let's finish. Put hands onto your knees, lengthen up, shoulders are relaxed and soft. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. All right, I'm gonna let I'm gonna let my left ear fall toward my left shoulder. I'm gonna lift up my left arm and I'm gonna bend the elbow and I'm gonna bring the left fingers on top of the right ear. Encourage the ear toward the shoulder. Now your head, you're holding on here. You can, use a little bit of strength to encourage the ear toward the shoulder. The opposite shoulder, the right shoulder, let it soften. Breathe. Feel this nice stretch in your neck. You know how far to take it. You know what feels good for you. Let's finish. Slowly bring your head back to the midline of your body. Bring your left hand down to your left knee. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Got another side to do. Lift your opposite arm up, the right arm. Bring it over the top of the head. Touch the top of the left ear and encourage the head down to the right shoulder. Soften in the left shoulder and be at peace. Find joy and peace in the movements. Just relax, settle in. Big stretch on your neck, isn't it? You know what feels good and feels right for you. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Finish up. Slowly remove the hand. Bring it back down to the right knee. Bring the head back to the midline of the body. Lengthen up. And let it go. Circle your head. Make little neck circles. If they don't feel good for you, just lengthen up. Maybe look to the left, look to the right. Just let your head float around on that wonderful body of yours. Finish up. Head back to the midline. Lengthen up. And let it go. All right, your arms. Take them parallel to each other and reach toward the front of the room. Palms face up. Breathe. Take a big inhale and settle into a big exhale. All right, now bend your elbows so your palms are towards your face. Palms are towards your face. Bring your elbows together to touch if they can. Bring your pinkies to touch if they can. Now close your hands. Close your fingers toward your palms. Send your thumbs out like little rabbit ears, okay? Take a big breath in. Soften in your shoulders and hold it here. Maybe you can't quite reach, but you just get the idea. Imagine that you're coming closer and closer to the elbows and the pinkies touching as well. Big breath in and big breath out. Now keep your elbows glued together. Those little rabbit ears, work them toward the thumbs. Work them toward the earth. Open and close. Work them toward the earth. Eyes can be closed too. You're alleviating all kinds of tension in your shoulders. So thumbs work toward the earth, then back, pinkies touch. All right, let's do kind of just the opposite. Come back to that starting position with the pinkies touching, elbows still touching. Then release your elbows from each other. Send them on up to the sky. So your knuckles are starting to touch each other. Knuckles are touching each other, elbows going up toward the sky as high as you want to take them. And then bring them on back down. Roll back down on those knuckles. Come on up and down. Up and down a few times. Eyes can be closed just so you can feel it. All right. Let's finish up. Hands down to your knees. Shrug your shoulders. Move them to the back of the room. Circle them forward. How do they feel? All good. All right, let's come out of this pose, whichever pose you're in, and let's come into a toes pose. We're going to work our feet and our foundation too. All right, just observe though. How are your shoulders feeling? What's going on there? All right, so come on up to standing on your knees. You can take your block, you can tuck your toes towards your shins, you can have a seat on your block as we take our toes pose today. We're going to be here for a little bit because we're going to get back into the shoulders. Now when you get your mind out of your feet, you can take the stretch a little deeper. But if this is painful, you know with any of these poses, if it's painful, don't do it. Back out of it, take it to a lesser percentage. There's all kinds of ways to attack it, all right? But if you can, nestle in here. Bring the shoulders back more over the hips, if that's all right. Take the breaks when you need them. Maybe you need to hinge forward a little bit every once in a while. You know, there's no yoga police. This is what feels good in your body. That's what's right. All right, what I'm going to do with the hands today is I'm going to bring them behind my low back. And you can reach for opposite elbow creases, kind of like when we do ragdoll pose. You can reach your fingers toward opposite elbows. Elbows are really bent. Soften in your shoulders. Chest is lifted and forward. Maybe close your eyes and let this feel good. You're opening up through your pectoral muscles in the front of your chest. Softening down in the elbows. You don't think of your elbows being soft very often, do you? Soften in the elbows. Breathe. Open up through the chest. Feel how good this feels with the chest open. Shoulders down and back. Breathe. Feel the gentle tug in the front of the pectoral muscles. How does it feel? Breathe in, breathe out. As you focus on your shoulders, lots of good things are happening here. Go ahead and turn your head from left to right. Embrace those little crunchies as long as they don't hurt. You're good. Maybe circle your head a little bit this way and that. Let's finish up. Bring your head back to the midline of your body. Soften in your elbows one more time. And when you're ready, release your hands from each other. Bring your arms parallel to each other, palms face up, reaching toward the front of your room. With your right hand, capture your left forefingers and pull them back as you stretch out your forearm. Eyes can remain closed, shoulders stay soft. Feel this nice stretch in your forearms. Don't forget to do your thumb too. Pull it back. Breathe. Bring all 10 fingers pointing forward again, palms face up. Do the other hand. Left hand captures the 4 fingers on the right hand. Feel the nice stretch here. Draw your fingernails back toward that elbow. See how that feels. How far does it feel good and feel right? Lastly, don't forget the thumb. Pull it back too. And let's finish. Bring your palms face down, arms parallel to each other. Circle your wrists in both directions. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze the interlaced fingers high up in the webbing. Give them a good squeeze. And then do a sideways number 8. Work into the wrists. Work into the wrists. This goes up into your shoulders too. Sideways figure 8, infinity sign. Really move. Make those circles on that number 8 nice and round. As you're ready, finish up. Guess what? You did toes pose for a really long time, but your mind was off of it, so it was more doable, right? I hope so. Remove your block. Come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Oh, you feel it here. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle your ankles, then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Plant your feet onto your mat. Have a seat back onto your heels as best you can. Maybe you don't come all the way back to your heels. That's okay. Let's lean on back a little bit. You can have your blocks by your sides or just push into the ground. Let your knees lift on up and take a little counter stretch to your toes pose. This is your ankle pose. That was a long toes pose. I promise we're not going to do the ankle pose as long. Just play with it a little bit here. Move in the ankles. Where does it feel good? Keep your knees together. If you want to challenge your balance, hands to prayer center. And just hold. Focus, focus forward. Breathe. Let's come out of this ankle pose. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Tap the tops of your feet out again on your mat. Let's do broken wing. All right, or thread the needle. Let's do thread the needle. Lift your right arm high up to the sky. Look up, and then exhale. That right arm comes under the left. Palm is face up. Reach it toward the left side of your mat. Adjust your knees further apart, further back, to bring the right shoulder down toward your mat. If you can't quite reach the mat, use the block to bring the ground up to you. Under your shoulder, under your cheek, whatever feels good. The left arm, reach that one high to the top of your mat, so your arms are almost in an L shape here. The right palm is reaching to the left side of your room. Your left arm is reaching to the top of your mat and your shoulder is down. Right cheek is down. Breathe, stretch it out. Finish. Unthread the needle. Right arm comes back. Left arm slides back so it's under your shoulder. Right arm lifted up, up, up to the sky and look up. Finish. Right hand down to meet the left. Now it's the left side's turn. Lift the left arm up to the sky and you take a little twist. Try to look up to the right arm. Exhale, thread the needle here. Left arm goes under right. Right arm slides forward. Come down to your right cheek. Left arm reaches farther to the right. Right arm reaches farther to the top. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. You've got it. Rest into that shoulder. Let all the tension go and find peace. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's finish. Unthread the needle, sliding the left arm back, sliding the right arm underneath the right shoulder. Left arm goes back up to the sky, and you look up toward the left arm. Exhale, come back to a neutral tabletop. Time for a child's pose. All right, you can take your child's pose anytime, any way you like. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back toward the heels. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Bring your forehead down to either a block, if you like, or bring it down to the earth. Sometimes we talk about half-size blocks. They're half the size. Maybe you have one of those because you can't, maybe the head on the block is just a little, I want to go deeper, but I can't quite go deep all the way to the floor. Buy a half block. It'll help you get there, that incremental journey of getting to where you want to be. Classic child's pose. If you like, an option is wide-legged child's pose. Knees spread wide, big toes touch, hips back toward the heels. They don't have to touch your heels. Arms can reach forward. You can rest your forehead on your block or rest your forehead onto the mat. And if you've got blocks, maybe press your palms into them as you get back into your shoulders more. Breathe in, breathe out. Come back to trying that Ujjayi pranayama breath to find the inner peace. That was the kind of breathing where we kept our lips closed and breathe in and out through the nose. Breathe. Soft shoulders allow you to have more space in the shoulders. So soften, let the tension go. Breathe in, breathe out. You can stay in your child's pose longer if that's what you're feeling today. You can stay in any of these poses longer if it just speaks to you. That's what you got to do. You got to listen to your body. I'm going to come out of the child's pose and I'm going to come into a neutral tabletop. What does that mean? It means knees under hips, hands, wrists under shoulders, lengthening through the spine. I think that's an important cue. Lengthening through the crown of the head and the tailbone. Push into the earth. Your fingers are spread wide. Push the tops of your feet into your mat. From this neutral tabletop position, this even engages your core, so it keeps you nice and strong. Chin to your chest, tailbone under, arch your back like a Halloween cat. Inhale, cow pose, crown of the head and tailbone lift. And put your thoughts on your tailbone. How's that? Feel how when you tuck, how it feels, and then really feel the lengthening as you expand it when you come into your cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Now your shoulders. Push into your hands and feel your shoulders protract and retract when you go into your cow. So push into the earth. That's why we push into the earth, to get the shoulders moving. You don't think about the shoulders moving much in this pose, do you? Pushing the earth away with your feet in your hands. Inhale, cow. That's your cat-cow pose. Bring your cat-cow pose back to a neutral tabletop position. Let's stretch our calves. Extend the right leg long, press the ball of the right foot into the mat. Dial the right hip down, pressing into the ball of that right foot. Breathe. Right knee meets left, other side. Left leg extends, ball of the foot on the mat. Press into the earth. Breathe. Left knee meets right. Lift the right leg up, up, up. Knee to about hip height. Give yourself a little bit of like a kick in the bottom. If you'd like, we're going to do cat pulling the tail. Reach your left arm around. Capture your right foot. Kick into your hand. As you kick into your hand, feel your left shoulders working here. Pectoral muscles open up. You're looking down to your right thumb. Maybe take your gaze to the left side of your mat. Maybe go to the left side of your room. Look to the left side of your room. Maybe look over your left shoulder. Kick hard into the hand. Breathe. Nice little twist. Finish. Hand comes down. Knee comes down. We have another side to do. Readjust. Get comfortable in your neutral tabletop. Lengthen through your spine. Left leg lifts. Left hip dials down. Maybe a little bit of a kick to your bottom. Maybe that is where you choose to stay today. Right hand reaches around, captures the left foot. You're looking down towards your left thumb. Kick hard into your hand. Stay here. Look to the right side of your mat. Look to the right side of your room. Kick harder. Maybe look over your right shoulder. There's your cat-cow with the cat pulling its tail. All right, let's come on back down. Hand comes down, knee comes down, bird dog. Bird dog pose, nice balancing pose, but you're still on your mat. You can do this. Lift your right leg up again. We just did this a moment ago, but extend your right leg this time. Drive the heel toward the back of the room and dial your right hip down. Add in the left arm by reaching it forward. You can use that block to reach and touch the block if you like. Lengthen up, reach through your fingers, spread your fingers wide, but don't forget to push the earth away. Hold it here. Breathe, stretch, reach. Touch your elbow to your knee if you like, or maybe with your left hand. When that knee's pulled in, take your left hand, hug the knee in a little bit more and touch your nose to your knee or come close to it. Stretch, reach, take the variation that is speaking to you today. Plant the right hand and the left hand and the right knee on the mat. Let's do the other side. All right, neutral tabletop, good place to begin. Left knee lifts, knee at hip height. Leg extends, hold it here. Push into the earth, stay right here. If this is where you stay, it's good. Don't sweat it. I'm gonna add in the right arm. Reach, push the earth away. Balance, it really helps. Think of really actively with the top of the right foot and the left hand, pushing the earth away. Elbow to knee if you like that variation. Don't forget to stretch it out. And if you like, you can take your right hand, capture your left knee, touch knee to nose, and then extend. Knee to nose if you like, and then reach. Knee to elbow if you like, and then reach. Take it slowly. Take it pleasurably. Just enjoy. All right, come back to a neutral tabletop position. Cat-cow to even everything out. Remember your shoulders. And then let's finish. Find your two blocks. Let's do a lunge. All right, how are your shoulders feeling? All right, come with your blocks. Place them on your sides at a high height. Bring your right leg forward. You know this, we do the lunges a lot. All right, because we want to get into the hips. The hips are big. Hips are so important for our mobility, probably the most important joints for mobility, right? Because you want to keep walking. All right, press into your blocks. Send your left leg long. Here's where you could use that towel under your left knee. Slip it under there if that feels better. But just try to make your left leg super long. Bring the top of your left foot onto your mat. You're holding on to your blocks. Your right knee is over your right ankle. You can stay right here because what we're going for is that big feeling in the left front hip flexor. Lengthen up through your spine and stay right here. If you prefer and you want to take it a little deeper, press on up, shoulders more over your hips. Fingertips can still stay on your blocks, or you can bring your hands to prayer center. You can stay right here and breathe. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. I'm gonna lift my arms up, up, up to the sky. Taking a little baby back bend. Hands back to prayer center. Hold it here. And you can surf. Hands back down to the blocks, straightening the right leg and bending the right leg. Bend it and straighten it. Get into your hips. Another place where we hold tension, especially women hold tension. Walk the blocks back, maybe bringing your bottom back to your heel or close to it. Walk the blocks forward, and you let the knee go forward of the ankle here. You can use the blocks to walk back and forth, or no blocks at all. Keep your hands at prayer center and surf it out. As you're ready, let's finish. Come back to standing on your knees and let's switch out the legs. Right knee meets left. Left knee doesn't stay there long, it comes forward. Knee over ankle, press into the blocks. Right leg long. Maybe shoulders up a little bit higher, you decide. You take it your way. You're after a big stretch in that right front hip flexor. Because think about it, how many times do we just sit all day long? And when you're seated, you're feeling the muscle that's getting the stretch now. that doesn't get the stretch when you're seated. When you're seated, you're kind of hunched forward, right? Now you're just stretching out that front. Arms lift, baby back bend if you want. Hands to first center, hold here. You know, our Tuesday and Saturday classes are more of a vinyasa flow. It's quicker movement. This is just taking it slower. Slower still is our Thursday and Sunday class. That's a restorative class where we hold the poses 5 to 7 minutes. Oh, that's a long time. Let's start to surf. Straighten the left leg. Use your blocks if you want. Walk them back and forth. And just get movement going in that left knee. And what's really feeling this is your right hip. All right. Walk the blocks back if you want. See how far you can go. How far you want to go. How far is right for you. But your body craves that movement. Get that synovial fluid going, especially in the knees. Really wakes my knees up to do my yoga. Breathe. No blocks if you want. Hands to prayer center. You got it. Just take your time. And then let's finish. All right, so you've surfed it out. Let's bring your knees together. Let's do a plank. All right, you're thinking, oh my gosh, thought we got away from doing planks. We do planks every single day. Just about. I shouldn't say that because restorative days we don't. But for your plank, lots of ways you can do it, and you can do it. We set a timer for 1 minute. The 1 minute timer is just for you to measure your progress if you want. Disregard the timer if you don't want. Here's an idea. I've introduced this recently. If you're new to yoga, new to planks, you just feel you don't have the strength yet, come down to your back, take your yoga blocks, balance the blocks on your hands, press the blocks up toward the sky, and imagine that you're in a plank. Pull your shoulders back into the mat, push your hands into the blocks, and hold it here. Imagine like you're in that upward position of a push-up. Other variations, you know these. Take the ones that work for you. That is the ticket. Take the ones that work for you. You can be in a neutral tabletop, spreading your knees a little wider, sending them more back, bringing your arms more forward, hinging the weight forward and pressing here. This is a great way to be. You could slip down to your forearms and still be on your knees. Elbows under your shoulders, fingers spread wide, still on your knees, weight shifted forward. You could tuck your toes toward your shin, press on up to a dolphin plank. You could take a high plank, hands, wrists under shoulders, legs long, coming into a high plank, pushing the earth away. I'm going to take a high plank today on the blocks because the blocks help shift the weight a little bit back, bringing less tension onto the wrists. All right, you do what speaks to you. Let's get into your variation of a plank, and let's start the timer now. All right, 1 minute in your plank. Your core is engaged. You're pushing into the earth or your blocks or whatever, especially if you're in that one on the back. That's a fun one. All right, we're already about 20 seconds into this. All right, hold on here. You're doing great. Breathe. Push into the earth. Crown of the head lengthens. Take the variation that speaks to you. Take the breaks that you need. We're halfway there. If you're shooting for a minute, you've done it for 30 seconds already. Up, correction. You have done it for 40 seconds already. Stay here. Stay strong. You can do it. Everything is engaged. Feel like everything is tight right here in our last 10 seconds. Let's do this. Come on. You can do anything for 10 seconds. Hold it. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Bend your knees. Come on down. Grab a seat. Grab some water. All right. how long did you do it? Doesn't matter. What matters is you're making progress. We call it a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect, and you just want to strive for progress. All right, grab a drink. Let's come onto our backs, and let's do a dead bug pose. Bring your strap close by. Come on down to seated. When you're ready, bend your knees, soles of your feet on your mat. Sit back like you're in a little ratcheted chair going back in a recliner on the beach. How's that? Got your strap by your shoulders. Come all the way back. Come all the way down. And let's do dead bug. All right, for dead bug, legs go up to the sky. Bend your knees. So your knees are over your hips and your shins are parallel to the earth. So hands, press them into your thighs. Press them in good and hard. I don't know how hard you're pushing. You can look like you're doing it really hard with no effort at all. But the idea is push your hands hard into your thighs, then push your thighs hard back into your hands. Oh my goodness, this is not easy, is it? Draw your toes towards your shins. Push the thighs into the hands and the hands into the thighs. This is your variation of dead bug today. Core is engaged really tight, right? Push into each other. Breathe. Shoulders down away from the ears. Arms are strong, pushing into the thighs. Thighs are even stronger, pushing back into the hands. Finish. Oh, and you thought plank was hard. Oh my gosh. All right, the other day we did a boat pose. Yesterday we did boat pose. And we said today we'll do it with a strap so you can see how to do that. All right, with your strap, place it under the soles of your feet. Hold on like reins of a horse. Think of your heels as weighted. Let your heels come down toward the earth. Breathe. Let your body roll up, up, up. Lift your chest forward, shoulders back and down. Breathe. Hug the elbows in. Hold here in your boat pose with the strap. The good news about this pose is it makes it doable, right? More doable. And you lean back as far as is right for you. Play with it. You've got your balance here because you got the strap. Makes it kind of fun. Breathe. Other days we do it without the strap. Maybe today, if you're familiar with your boat pose, you do it without the strap and it's all good. Let's let the heels come all the way down. You sit all the way up nice and straight. Shoulders are back. Don't you feel really tall? Breathe. That's a nice feeling. Let your gaze come down to your toes, toward your knees. Walk your hands down your straps. Let your forehead come toward your knees as close as you like. Breathe. Remove your strap. Take it off of your legs. Let's come into pentacle pose. All right, remember that? That's how we started. Feet spread wide. Take it slowly. We're not going to stay here very long, or you can stay here for a while. Here's your options. Come on down. Lift your arms. Come back to that capital letter X shape. Or remember, adjust your arms. If it doesn't feel good, think kind of like snow angel. Bring your arms down to where it does feel good. All right, you can stay right here in your pentacle pose. That's one option. I'm going to come up to standing and do a couple of poses. If you're in this reclined pose and you want to do a little bit more, maybe you can do the poses that we're doing standing, but while lying down. I'll explain it when I get there. All right, come on out of pentacle if you want to do some standing. I'm going to press on up, come on up to a standing position. And in this standing position, we're going to do that you will look taller. So if you're lying down, same thing. You can bring your legs together, arms up into a big letter Y shape. You will look taller. Think of all four of these words, the first letter of each one. You. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room or to the floor. Big letter Y for you, big letter W, elbows down for will. 2 L's, forward and back, hugging the elbows in. Forearms are parallel to the earth. And now tee out your arms, sit for the word taller. Tee out your arms, pulse your hands to the back of the room. Let's do it again. You will look taller. Again, you will look taller. Now, your arms are teed out. A little different pose now. Palms pointing, palms pointing forward. Palms not pointing, palms facing forward. Bend your elbows so you could like high five. Remember that game, hands down? High five the front of the room. Squeeze your shoulders back. We did this reclined too. Or not reclined, when we were seated we did this. So kind of like a goalpost. Your arms look like a cactus, right? Hold it here. Close your eyes. Just take a couple of deep breaths. Big breath in. Big breath out. Squeezing, finding that good kind of tension in your upper back. Breathe in, breathe out. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now keeping your elbows high, bring your palms together to touch. Kind of did this before, remember? Now let your palms slip down to come back to that Samastitihi pose. The pose where, your hands are at prayer, your shoulders are soft, eyes are closed. Just kind of marvel at your body that you've made it this far. Shoulders are soft. Big breath in, big breath out. We're almost done with your 1 hour long yoga practice. Your shoulders are going to feel better. Your hips are going to feel better. We're going to do more for the hips in a moment. That lunge was great for the hips, but we're going to do a reclined pigeon. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, when you're ready, fold forward. Fold forward. Let the arms hang. Toe heel your feet hip width distance apart. We're going to sneak in a ragdoll pose, hands to opposite elbow creases. Gaze down toward your toes. Now look to your knees. Now look toward your belly button as the crown of your head relaxes. Softness in the knees feels good. Start to sway your elbows from one side to the other. One toward one elbow, then toward the other elbow. One elbow toward the knee. That's where it's going. The other elbow toward the other knee. Finish up. Come back to the midline. Give your toes a wiggle. When you're ready, hands come back down. Come on back down to your knees. Hands down to your mat. Come down to your knees. Nice job. All right, if you're in that pentacle pose, did you do those other poses as well? I hope you did. All right, come on out. Send your legs long and wide. Reach your arms forward. Breathe. Maybe bring your forearms down to the earth. You could use your blocks here to bring the ground up to you. If that feels better, use the blocks. Maybe under the forehead, under the hands, 1 block, 2 blocks, no blocks. Do what's right. Slowly come on back to the midline of your body. Let's send our legs long on the mat. Have a block nearby or both blocks nearby at about hip height. Bend your knees again, hands to prayer center. Come back in that recliner. Remember, take it slowly. This is core 2. All the way down, bridge pose. Blocks are within a grab of your hands. Press into the soles of your feet, lift your hips up. Nice and high, arms down by your sides. Wiggle your shoulders towards your spine. Let the shoulders rest into the mat. Push your feet hard into the mat. Find your block. Slip a block under your bottom or 2 blocks. Create a bigger surface. Why not? And then let your bottom rest onto your block or blocks. Send your legs long to get back into the front of the hips. Arms down by your sides, wherever is comfortable. I'm going to tee mine out to get a little love back into the shoulders. Pontoon pose, opening up through the hips. This feels a lot like your lunge did, but it's doing both hips a little more gradually and both hips at the same time. Finish. Bend your knees, push into your feet again, another bridge pose. Lift your hips up, remove your blocks. Put them aside. Roll your spine down, 1 vertebra at a time. Yesterday we did half pigeon pose. Today we're doing a reclined pigeon. This is always an option. Whenever I say, let's do a half pigeon, you can say, I'm doing reclined pigeon. All right, left leg stays bent, right leg lifts. Bring the outside of the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Create like a figure 4 in your legs. Press your inner right thigh open. Stay right here. If you like, you can lift your left leg up, drawing your left knee toward your chest. Oh, feel that in your backside. Right knee opens more toward the outside of the right knee, goes toward the bottom of your mat. You can take your hands or your towel or your strap to make your arms longer. Perhaps interlace your fingers or use that towel behind the left knee and hug it in. Hug your elbows in. Soften in your shoulders, getting back into your hips, an area where we hold tension. Send your breath to your hips. Take this deeper if you want. Oh my gosh, there's an even deeper way. You can take your towel under the left knee, hugging the knee in. You could use your interlaced fingers as well. Hug the knee in. Play with this a little bit. The outside of the right knee, more to the front of the room. Hugging the left knee in a little bit more. Draw the right toes toward the shin. Take the right foot, the one that's on top. Give it a nice tight squeeze where you are, hugging the knee in, pulling the other knee out. Then this right foot, send it about 3 or 4 inches to the left side of your room. Feel how that feels in your glutes. Let's finish. Left foot down, right foot down. Left leg lifts outside of the left ankle on top of the right knee. You can stay right here. Nothing wrong with this. Pressing, I'm going to press the left inner thigh open. Staying right here is great. But if you're curious, just lift that right knee up and stay right here. Outside of the left knee, that goes to the bottom of the mat. Send it there. Right knee, pull it in a little bit more using your strong core. Using your hands or your towel, next step would be to place your hands behind the right knee, hugging it in. That's intense. You want it intenser? You want it more intense? More intense. Take the hands, interlace the fingers underneath the right knee, or use your towel and hug the right knee in even more tightly. Outside of the left knee, toward the bottom of your mat. Draw your left toes toward your shins. Check in with all those areas we're working on. Outside of the left knee, more to the bottom. Right knee hugged in, even more. When you're ready, left foot about 4 inches to the right. Breathe. Right foot comes down, left foot comes down to meet it. Press the hips up to the sky, bridge pose, palms down by your sides, wiggle your shoulders in a little bit more with some last little bit of love for your shoulders. Press the hips nice and high, last little bit of love for the front of your hips, your hip flexors. Now roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time, keeping your tailbone tucked. That means keeping your belly button sucked in towards your spine. Bring your spine down slowly. Once it's all the way down, release the tailbone. Find your eye shade or your towel. Maybe take a block or two and slide them on down to the bottom of your mat. In doing that, you can elevate your feet. Pick your feet on up, rest the backs of your calves, your ankles, your heels on the blocks. That kind of feels nice for our final Shavasana pose. Eye shade, towel, either one. Cover your eyes, makes a big difference. It really blocks out the outside world, helping you focus inward. Nothing wrong with that. We all need that untroubled time, a time of peace on your mat, serenity. You're safe here. Nothing is going to disturb you. You're going to wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine, palms face up if you like, arms work them a little bit away from your body. Feet, heels are kind of at the edges of your mat or lifted on those blocks. Why am I lifting my feet on the blocks today? We did a lot with the hip flexors, from our lunges to our pontoon pose. So this is just kind of alleviating some of the tension there. Just nice to do different poses, different ways to just let the body respond. Eyes closed, deep breath, final Shavasana. Peace. No tension in your body. Let it all go. as your whole body is heavy on your mat. Let the area between your eyebrows soften. Deep breaths in and out, any way that feels comfortable for you. Think of peace just permeating your entire body. There's no tension in your shoulders or in your hips. You're mobile, you're flexible, you're fluid. You've created that barrier. That barrier, you're not going to let stress in. You're not going to let tension in today. Inside, you are at peace. No chaos, no stress, no worry, just healthy breathing and peace. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Remember that good morning stretch, the one that you're going to do every day before you get out of bed as you live your yoga off the mat? Let's do that. Kick your blocks aside, stretch it out nice and long, just like you do. We see your cats and dogs too. As they stretch. Exhale, bend your knees and your elbows, roll onto your favorite side. Let your head rest on your bicep as you take a big breath in and a big breath out. Slowly press on up or float on up using your hands, or don't use your hands. Come on up to a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you, keeping your eyes closed. Hands to prayer center. Close your eyes, lengthen up. And exhale, soften up. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. 1 hour. Soft, gentle, peaceful movements. I hope that you have found peace in your body today. Peace in your shoulders. Feels good to have your shoulders mobile, doesn't it? And peace in your hips. All right. Mother Teresa said, I love this. Peace begins with a smile. So who can you give a smile to today? You never know. You might just be giving them a little bit of internal peace too. And that's a good thing because it's one of the fruits of the Spirit. Fruits of the Spirit are, and we've been working on these. All year we're working on these. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Go forth and do good things and smile. See you on your mats tomorrow. Love you guys. Goodbye. You were a good girl today, and you're always a good girl, Bonnie. Bonnie. Okay, all right, bye. You're a good girl. Embrace imperfection. Try something a little different. Take a pose a little deeper, or just try something a little different, but just try. Trying is where the fun is, right? That's where you meet your threshold. That's where you meet your challenges. But embrace the imperfection and just admire yourself for having the courage to do it. How's your yoga working out for you? I'm glad that you're still here. Thank you for being here. Tell your friends about our yoga. It's free for anybody and everybody can do it. They just got to show up. That's the ticket. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Embrace the imperfection, do what you can with what you got, and just have fun. See you on your mats tomorrow.